Good evening. So while I'm slacking off on the science front, as I told you, I'm having like for a week now, terrible back pain. It's actually getting better. And my mother, she bought me, as I said, the ibuprofen pills, 400 milligram, and it helps. By the way, if anyone is asking himself or herself if medicine has any effect on me, so the answer is yes. Especially simple things like painkillers, especially strong painkillers, definitely have an effect on me. But as usual, time is the real doctor, the real medicine doctor. So I'm trying to get some rest and not losing my shit all over humans and how ridiculous they are, and especially how horrible Israelis are. These really creatures that are made 100% out of mouse. You might hear the drilling sound. It's like, as I said, wherever I go, it's always there. It's the soundtrack of my life. Anyway, maybe later today I will do another quick video with the slide. It could be interesting, and it's not a lot of work. Just to see if the slide is any different. I haven't checked it for the last two days since I've shown you the video that I've made just after I've put the semen on the slide. Just to remind you that when I place it just there, we've seen neurons as expected, and we've seen really simple string life forms. And as I said, this is very, very common. It perhaps the most basic constructions of the neurons. I don't know if it's my guess is that actually these are not real microbes. Even though of course they can create microbes like this, but they are just, I think they're just too big. Many times you can differentiate between because as I said, it's difficult to differentiate between the robotic life forms and microbe, biological life forms. But it's also, sometimes there is also a challenge of differentiating between robotic life forms or synthetic life forms and sculptures and paintings or drawings, because the Neo civilizations, they like to, as I said, they like to occupy themselves with what I call cave paintings. If you remember, cave paintings, is a metaphor for the Paleolithic men and women. Presumably, they like to paint things that they fought, they hunted on the walls of the cave. So it's something that you see a lot with Neros as well. They like that if they fought viruses and germs, they like to create sculptures or drawings, but they're doing it in huge scale. They are not and this is one of the ways to differentiate between robotic life forms and pictures or sculptures of life forms. It's both something that the Neros, the nanobots, they're doing, or the microbots are doing, but it's different. But there's a big difference of scale, because robotic life forms are generally, they are in the size of life forms. Biological life forms. They're just made of completely different material, but they are about the same size. But the paintings and the drawings and the sculptures are comparatively huge. They're much bigger. They're doing it in much bigger scale. And the string shapes that you've seen, they're certainly modeled after life forms. Everyone that ever seen microbes under the microscope can identify that this is these are string. This is supposed to represent string microbes. Just a second. But I think that they are just too big. It's we've seen them. the magnification that I used, I mean, for this the preliminary video was it's like 16 times 4 or something like that, so it's 64. It's not a big, I mean, it's not that large magnification, so it was 64. I can't use actually smaller magnification that's smaller than that, because I don't have the, it's called the not the objective lens, but I mean the lens that are on the top, the eye lenses. I don't have the, I only have the one with the maximum magnification, which is still 16. I also had like others that are, I mean, with less magnification, but it's not, I don't have, I mean, I lack a lot of like the peripheral tools that came with the microscope, unfortunately. But I have the most important one, which is, I mean, the biggest magnification, which allows me the most, like, because sometimes it's interesting to see things like, I mean, is like a maximum zoom in, which is about 1500, which is pretty good. I mean, it's very basic microscope, but the maximum like magnification is pretty good, I would say. As I've said many times, with optical microscope, you don't get much better than 2000 because of the optical considerations. Anyway, those like string shape were pretty big. Like, so I was seeing that they are just sculptures, not like real life forms. But I mean, if you want to see like robotic life forms, they are certainly, I mean, torn like in this do you want to see if it's something it's still over, like, has it been changed since yesterday? Let's see. Let's take a look. Looks a little bit bigger, but I don't know. Definitely has like it looks like colonies. Like, I mean, definitely has like both the texture and like the look. As I say, I'm almost certain now that these are robotic ones, because they were created very quickly, and second, I mean, this mixture is really anti-life. I mean, yeah, there is a little bit of sugar, like from the silan, from the date, this date concentration, but it's like mostly pee and oil and you know, alcohol and things that, and you know, oil paint. Anyway, so I wanted to speak about a philosophical question now, but I mean, it's a philosophical question. It's also a practical one that many people like. I mean, several subscribers already asked me this question, and so I thought I'll answer. And actually, I already have a prepared answer, because I've already thought about this question long ago. So, because it's kind of like it's a question that